And welcome back, Wargame enthusiasts, to Combat Mission Red Thunder, where we are in the deployment phase, and I am getting used to the German forces under my command. So, yeah, let me show you what I've been doing this far, or what I've done this far with regards to deployment, and you can judge yourself how dumb this particular battle plan is, actually, because I kind of suspect it is. But there we go. Our forces are basically split into three groups. We've got the first group over here with the two Panthers and a bunch of infantry. Actually, one platoon of infantry. They're going to ride into battle on the Panthers. They are going to approach this town over here, this part of town at least over here. They're going to deploy all over in various buildings. One team in that platoon is going to have to leg it all the way, but they should be there only, well, they'll be there a little later, but we'll use them as a reserve when they arrive there. The Panthers themselves are going to set up in this position over here, and they're going to protect our flank. So if we see any enemies approaching from over there, we're going to have two Panthers standing here at an angle with their turrets um, pointed in that direction. However, whether the enemy will actually try anything over here or not is very questionable. It's not something that I think will yield results, but it's going to give us an initial deployment from which we can work later on. Um, Yeah, the Panthers are going to work as a pair, I hope, throughout the battle. At least that's my initial plan there. That I'm going to use them both as a platoon, basically. Um, right, like I said, these guys are going to run up, and we're going to have some HQ teams run up as well and give us some coordination. We're going to have this middle group here, which consists of, well, maybe it's more like two groups, but basically we've got mortars who are going to just run into the forest and deploy there. These are the 81 millimeter mortars, the 8 centimeter ones. They're going to, like I said, deploy in the forest. We're not going to initially use them for firing. We're going to use them once we spot some enemy deployment zones. What else have we got? We've got this infantry here. So the infantry, and I don't know why you're pausing. This is the other platoon of infantry. It's going to leg it all the way into the middle part of the town. It's going to basically... I haven't given them precise deployment locations yet. They're basically moving in behind this line of trees over here. And from there, we're going to try and capture this part of town, maybe. Or maybe not. In the meantime, we've got the third group, which is basically these two Tiger tanks, and they're also going to operate as a pair, but right now they're a little further apart, mostly because that's just the easiest routes to get to where I want them to. So they have on their backs the heavy machine guns that I've bought. So each Tiger has two heavy machine guns and a couple of extra units from some HQ or other, and they're going to ride into battle. We're going to get one of the Tigers deployed here, and from there we're going to, as you can see, these orange and yellow bits over here, we're going to try and deploy machine guns in these positions in the forest, which overlooks this entire area here and should give us a great position to fire from if we are not spotted during deployment. The other Tiger is doing pretty much the same thing. He's going up over here. Right. Wait a minute. Let's just select Tiger. There we go. So he's going to arrive over here behind this tree line as well. And from there, he's going to deploy his machine guns into this house over here and this forest over here. Again, this will give us a bit of... So if we, for instance, see any enemies appearing in this forest over here, that should have them in... We should have them in crossfire with our MG teams, heavy MG teams. Let's see now. These are MG42s, I think. I should know this stuff. but I don't. I imagine they're MG42s, but I don't see anywhere where it actually says it's an MG42. Either that or it's an MG34, one of these anyway. Yeah, so they're going to deploy there, and from here, hopefully, we will have a good firing position for any advancing troops. We're going to first set up a defensive line along the tree line, or more like a sort of sketch of a defensive line from which we can see where the enemy is going. I am not averse to withdrawing from the initial line after we've figured out what the enemy is doing, because this is a pretty obvious spot to put down some mortar fire on us. Once we figure out where the enemy is, we're going to use our heavy armor to hopefully move up and destroy at least some of his units in detail. Now, I said the mortar fire. Let's see now. Where was this guy? Oh, there we go. So, I said there's a tree line that's a very obvious place for mortar fire or for artillery fire, and there's one on the other side of the table as well, of the map as well, and that's over here. So we're going to put down a heavy mortar mission over there, and actually I don't know whether harass is the good mission, to be honest. Let's figure this out. Why are my troops speaking German? I really never play the Germans, really never ever play the Germans, not because I have anything against it, but it's just not my speed, I guess. So I'm not used to troops talking to me in a language I don't really recognize. Anyways, let's give it a medium, and we're going to wait 5 minutes for the enemy to set up there. I think 5 minutes is enough time. Hopefully, if he doesn't see any artillery fire, he'll get a little bit complacent. I think he... Well, so I actually talked with my enemy quite a bit about how Germans work and stuff, and basically his theory is that the way you're supposed to operate Germans is that you have to make a choice between what equipment you're going to use. So if you want tanks, you can have tanks, but if you want tanks, you can't at the same time have artillery and stuff. So, which is an interesting theory, because I managed to put in quite a lot of tanks. I mean, 4 tanks, but very heavy tanks, very good tanks. And I have a light mortar platoon, a heavy mortar platoon, and 2 platoons of infantry and some machine guns. So I honestly don't see the problem from his point of view. But if he thinks that, then if we don't show any artillery initially, then maybe he'll grow complacent. Maybe he'll think we don't have any artillery to begin with, and we'll start bombarding him later on when he sort of relaxes and sort of starts maintaining his position without moving too much. I also have no idea what the enemy is going to take. I mean, if he takes a massive armor, that would be interesting. If he takes like a balanced force, I'm certainly going to find out what it's like to be on the other side of that, of the Soviet machine. I'm pretty sure he's not going to play it like the AI, and he's going to make some smart decisions with his units. So it's going to be an interesting fight. But I'm very well aware that we're both learning our troops, and I'm probably missing something very important with these guys over here that I'll find out by the end of the battle was really important. Anyways, if it costs me the battle, that's okay. I don't mind losing. I'll at least learn the other side a little bit, and I'm going to have fun, hopefully, with those tanks. Yeah. So what I'm expecting is an artillery barrage along the way, and I'm not prepared for that particularly. I'm even moving infantry in the open, and to be honest, I'm just not going to counteract it. If it happens, it happens. I'm thinking the enemy might do something really crazy like a Katyusha barrage or something, but by then hopefully we'll be inside of these buildings, unless he does like a really crazy Katyusha barrage right there, right in turn 1, which I guess he could. Yeah. I think he's going to take some heavy equipment like the IS-2 tank, maybe. Maybe he's going to take... Well, The thing with the Soviets, though, there's not really much to choose from, so he's going to take um, whatever limited assortment of troops he wants, but it's either going to be T-34-85s, it's either going to be heavy assault guns. He's probably not going to take medium assault guns. I don't think he is convinced of their effectiveness, especially that my performance with them was never particularly good. But he's very likely to take a heavy tank or two, and that's why we have so many heavy tanks. But also we've got a whole lot of Panzerschrecks. I'm really surprised how many. Well, we had one Panzerschreck, but we've got a whole lot of Panzerfaust. So that's kind of interesting. I'm surprised how many Panzerfaust there are in the German troops, and only convinces me that I am generally correct in staying away from infantry when my tanks are involved. I don't think this is a Panzerfaust terrain necessarily, but who knows? Maybe we'll get him somewhere close. No, I think this is going to be the sort of terrain where machine guns can mow down infantry when they appear. Yeah, we're definitely going to try. So, I know this. When playing the Soviets, my biggest fear is being exposed to enemy fire, especially crossfire, when I'm trying to advance through the through terrain, because that it doesn't usually It doesn't usually cause as many casualties as you'd maybe expect or hope on the other side, but it wreaks havoc with morale, and troops just get discouraged, and then there's chaos, and they cannot advance. And if the Soviets don't advance in an orderly manner, then they're in trouble. They have to coordinate. So if we can prevent them from coordinating, that would be great. So hopefully we'll manage that. Um, Which makes me wonder whether I should actually use some of our mortars to lay down some harassing fire on the approach to the main part of the main objective here, but I don't know. I don't think I will. Anyway, I think that's enough yabbering from me. You can you can decide whether my plan is particularly stupid or not, especially that I'm consciously ignoring the possibility of artillery happening just because I want to get in position fast. And if I have losses, that'll make this game even more interesting because I'll have to figure stuff out as I go along with these pretty interesting and pretty cool German units like the Tiger tank. And I don't think the Tiger tanks are going to be destroyed by Katyusha fire. At least I hope not. Um, okay. I think that's enough talking from me. This was my deployment. See you guys when the first turn happens.